Hey, my name's Elle. In this video I document a pretty challenging time in my life when just recently in January 2025 when I was revisiting belongings from my late daughter Chloe. She passed away 23 years ago on the 17th of January, and after she passed away I moved house and I packed up her bedroom, and I had a box and a suitcase that I hadn't looked at for that whole time, and so I thought that it was an auspicious year 23, and I decided to go through those things, you know, for future proofing for my kids so that they didn't have to do it, because you know, now that I'm getting older, and I want to digitize the photos and just keep what's really important and really treasured for me. So I took it upon myself to go through her things, and I documented it because I think we need to talk about death and grief more, and grief is not linear and it's not always one way or the other way. And so often for me, the lead up to big anniversaries or special days, that's the hardest. And so this is the week before Chloe's anniversary, and me going through her things and the treasures that I find. And you know, it was pretty harrowing, which you'll see. So please, I am new to videoing and editing, so it's not super professional, but it's me in my raw sadness and grief. There's lots of crying, there's lots of nose blowing and sniffing. I apologise for that, but you know, it's real, and that's what grief is all about. So I hope that I don't think enjoy is the right word, but I hope that you experience this video with love, and getting to know Chloe just a little bit more, and maybe getting to know me a little bit more, and maybe it might help you to be able to be really transparent and open with your own grief, because I think we hide it away, and I know I did that for many years. So I really wanted to share it. So I hope that you enjoy it, and I'll pop a little goodbye on the end. Howdy. I wanted to document this because today I am doing something that is scary and heartbreaking and maybe exciting and surprising, and that is to open a box and a suitcase with all of Chloe's memorabilia, I suppose is the best way to put it. And it has been packed up for 22 years, and next Friday, the 17th of January, will be 23 years since Chloe died. And today's the day, 23 years later, that I'm going to open these. So I imagine that there'll be lots of tears and laughter and smiling and sadness and grief and lots of things. But overall, I feel so grateful to be able to do that today. All afternoon I've been going through Chloe's stuff that I packed up 22 years ago, when I packed her bedroom up, and I've done a big box that you might have seen in the other video, and now I've got this suitcase to go. So I've had some beautiful things come out. I'm going to share those at some stage. So right now what I'm going to do is try and get into this suitcase. The zips seem to be a bit seized, so I've got my WD-40 and I've also got my trusty knife if I need to cut through the material. Oh, look how big that is. Far out. That's a lot, isn't it? The 23rd anniversary next Friday, which is on the 17th, and 5 and 2 and 3 and combinations of the 2 and 3 have been really prevalent in my life. So it's not surprising that I feel strong enough to do this on the 23rd anniversary. Yes, so wish me luck. I'm going to keep the camera running, and let's have a look and see what's inside, shall we? Let's hope I can open it without cutting it, but I'm not feeling that confident. whoa. Deep breaths. I bought lots of knickers. Well, it's not even all of them. Good nose. So. That might have been a mistake. Goodness me. Oh, okay, well, there you go. That's me opening up my daughter's clothes after 23 years. She had very good style, and in all the things that I've read about what she wanted to do as an adult, it was a fashion designer or a hairdresser. She's so sweet. So I'm going to leave this now because I just have to work out what I'm going to do with it. But thank you for being here and witnessing that. But that's not everyone's normal weekly experience. Goodness, it's not mine, that's for sure. All right, thank you. So I've actually been wearing the same clothes for 3 days, I just realised. I've just spent the weekend unpacking Chloe's things that have been packed up for 23 years almost. And the thing that really undid me, two things. One was her makeup bag with her makeup in it, like she had makeup. And also, I had a healing recently, and in the healing, Hayley told me that I have 3 guardian angels, and they're always with me, and that I could try and maybe connect with them more. And so I'd only just been Googling images of guardian angels just to try and get something, sort of a vision, some clarity around what that might be like to connect to them. I don't know, just something to help me. Anyway, I was looking through emptying Chloe's makeup bag, and right down the bottom was this little gold pin of a guardian angel. I could not believe it. And then, you know, this is her room that I packed up when we moved, and so at the time, obviously, it was still very raw and fresh, so I have a suitcase of her clothes. That was pretty tough. And then yesterday, so that was all Saturday, and then yesterday I went through all these photo albums. Chloe was part of Camp Quality, which is the most beautiful organisation, and she started when she was 4 all the way until she died, and her last camp was in April 2001, so a bit over 6 months before she died. Anyway, her beautiful companion Joan took hundreds of photos during these camps because they just knew how special it was for how special it was for Chloe, but how special it was for me, and the fact that I was entrusting Chloe to their care. And so I had all these albums, and of course it was pre-smartphone days, so they were just photos, blurry photos, focus photos, weird photos, yeah. So yesterday I went all the way through these albums and I threw a heap of them out into the recycling bin, and then this morning I watched the recycling truck just pick them up and take them away. And this Friday is Chloe's 23rd anniversary, so 23 years since she died, and feels like yesterday. So the weekend was equal parts beautiful. Like, it was beautiful because it really affirmed to me the love that we had, because I think that, you know, I'm a pretty hard critic on myself, and I always sort of reflected, because it's so long ago and so much has happened since then. I've always reflected that maybe I didn't do enough, didn't love her enough, didn't provide her enough support, didn't do all this stuff. Like, I always fell on the side of me not doing enough. And then I read through letters from other people, and who were always, like, the thread of these letters were, my God, how lucky was Chloe to have you, you know, your strength, your love. And it really affirmed to me, from other people, but also from Chloe, who just loved me, and who, I was her mum, right? But today, the day after all of that, I am just in a puddle of grief, of loss again. Even though I know she's right here, even though she sends me signs, even though I know that she's right in this room with me right now, probably saying, "Oh, don't cry, mummy." But it still feels unbelievable and like a really shitty fucking bad dream. Anyway, this is grief, right? It's not a linear journey. It's not a linear experience, and it's waves of love and loss and heartache and devastation and gratitude, and it's all the emotions. It's like this emotional soup that you just have to wade through and try and live your life in concert with it as best you can. And it's such a big part of me. And I suppose, you know, because it's so long ago, I don't dismiss it. I don't belittle it. I hold it very closely in my heart, and I don't really, you know, if someone saw me, they wouldn't understand, or they wouldn't be able to see the depths of the heartbreak in me, because I also know that life goes on, and we continue to have experiences, and we continue to build relationship, and continue to parent, now grandparent, and so all life just moves on regardless of the grief and the loss, and you just got to go with the program, really. And today's Monday, and Friday is Chloe's anniversary, and I'm actually going away with my best girlfriends, and they will hold me, I know. The thing about grief is that you would imagine that after 23 years, the loss would be more obtuse. But it actually gets sharper, because there are more things that you're missing out on together. You know, Chloe was almost 13. She was budding into puberty. She was a tween, but aching to be a teenager, and she was only 3 months shy. And then since she has died, I've watched her best girlfriends, you know, get married and have careers and have babies and all have experiences of life. But there is a line in the sand on the 17th of January 2002 where my life as a mother of, physical mother of Chloe has ended, and I'm her spiritual mother and she is mine, and we chose this, and I understand all of that. But because I'm human and not just spirit, the physical missing is really ongoing, and I just would really like to express that if you know someone who is grieving the death of someone, especially a child, just understand that things might look okay from the outside, but there is always, 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 always heartbreak. It never will ever go away. And so if they flake out on you for something, say no at the last minute, change their mind, need their plans changed, go underground, maybe you don't hear from them for days, maybe they don't respond to you the way that they normally do, just please give them compassion and grace and love, because it is a really difficult road. And for many, many years after Chloe died, before I got to this place in my heart and mind and spirit, I would suppress the grief because it was so insurmountable and so difficult to feel and to live in that I did anything possible not to feel it. Marriages, another baby, beautiful, thank fuck for that. Drinking, you know, shiny things, always something new. Today is just one of those days that after 2 days of going through Chloe's things and just, you know, like getting to know the human, the daughter again, and, you know, looking at all her school books and all of her shitty spelling and beautiful drawing and colouring in and her words, you know, and in one of her projects she talked about herself being sick and how she started off as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed little girl and ended up with brown hair and brown eyes after the liver transplant. And that is so weird, isn't it? But all those physical belongings and clothing and, you know, her notes to me, I love you, Mum. And one of them she wrote, Dear Mummy, when she was staying at her dad's, she wrote, Dear Mummy, I threw a tantrum today and it didn't work. How cute is that? Anyway, the grief journey continues. I'm just about to go to the beach and get my head in the water and then just go gently. That's the plan. Anyway, Chloe, Alexander, Mount Stephen, I love you so, so much. Thank you for watching. It's pretty personal and close to my heart, but I really wanted to share because it's such a special thing to miss someone so much and to love them and to also have a beautiful life. There are happy endings, and just because one thing is true doesn't mean another thing can't be true. So yes, I'm full of grief and sorrow and heartache and devastation that I'm not sharing life with Chloe on a physical plane, but I also have a beautiful family as well, and I'm very blessed and I feel very grateful for that. So I just want to say happy endings do happen even in sadness and grief, and I hope that if you are in grief and you are experiencing that, that you get your happy ending, whatever that is for you. Lots of love. Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching, and thanks for hearing all my snuffles and crying and all of that, and my beach attire for 3 days straight where I just didn't even move really. I just was doing what I had to do to get through that. So I will be posting more on this playlist about Chloe because I think it's really important to share to help others with their own grief and with their own loss, but also for future generations of who the hell is Chloe Mount Stephen and what happened to her. And so when I went through her things, I uncovered so many photos, and I really want to share that in future videos. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you got a greater insight into how my life is with a spirit daughter and 3 beautiful sons and grandchildren, and my grief as my sidekick. Love in a cloak. That's what grief is. So much love. Thank you so much. See ya.